Okay. I've also a whole pile of images for you to show. I will try to limit my talking a little bit so that we don't talk into the next day. Um, Also, thank you very much for inviting us. We don't have such an extensive Italian experience. So I want to talk a little bit more on what our office has done so far. And we have one specific project in Monza where I will zoom in until the stage that it's in now. Almost 10 years ago, together with Maatje, I started the office of 24 Hours. Before that, we together worked at Erik van Egeraat's office, where Matteo also worked at a little bit later stage. Maatje worked before that at Meccano and OMA, so there was some experience also in wild building constructions. This is our office in Rotterdam and our team. It's a bit old picture because you see Hetsunke and still in the corner. And just like Maurice, we were forced to look back on our work recently and thought, what is our central theme? Because we were also working for 10 years and all the buildings are so different that it's hard to find a theme. But if you look more closely, we discovered all our buildings are inspired by nature. And in a very broad scope, one could see that. I'll try to explain that a little bit more. There are some central themes that we work with at the start of a project that I quickly will explain. Maybe I do the themes and then you do some translation, or just... I think everybody's happy. Good. One theme is evolution. We like our buildings to be able to adapt to different different programs, different times. But for that, they should be able to be less static than architecture normally is. Second theme, natrified, we call this. Looking for materials that basically turned into stone, like this petrified tree. It used to be a tree, now it's petrified tree, so it's stone, and actually then you could use it also as a building material. I explain later exactly what it is. Organism, the third theme is that there are new structures growing onto old structures in sort of restart of a new life. Art Deco really tried to build in balance with the environment and creating a setting with that. I'll explain also later. And this is, I think, also one of our favorites. We want our buildings to age beautifully. Like you see in nature, once there was a rock, then there came the rain and it transformed the nature almost into architecture. It makes it sensible. And it makes it more beautiful in time instead of ugly. And this is really to do also with materials that you use. I think straight away we start with a project where I can explain that as well. This was one of our first things that we did when we started the office. We built our own summer house in the forest in Sweden as a sort of experimental garden for architecture. Here we tried out all kinds of things and learned all kinds of things of what architecture could do for us. There's this existing cabin in the middle of the forest. There's here a waterfall which is frozen because it's winter, and that was the setting for our building. We wanted to make a building that could evolve. The main idea is we really like the Swedish landscape and don't want to ruin it by architecture. Not make a big white box and say, I am the big architect, look at me in the middle of the forest. So the building should hide itself, basically. The surroundings is all granite rock next to the lake. So we wanted to have a building that looks like a rock when we're not present. But when we're present, it should come to life. That's basically the evolution theme. My architectural journey started when I was, I think, 18 and visited the Falling Water in the US, and that was basically my motivation to become an architect. And now this opportunity came along with my own waterfall to build my own Falling Water. We made these beautiful hand sketch drawings handed in by the municipality, and they approved on these drawings our building permission. These drawings were made later. They were never any stamp from the municipality. So we had the stamp, and then we had to build this. And basically, what was important is that from the lake you cannot see any reference to architecture. So all the windows should be hidden. There cannot be any normal door, and the texture should be like a rock. But in the summer when we're there, we need as maximum floor space as we can. This is the stream, and we want to have the living room above the stream. Unfortunately, that was not possible for regulations, because we had to build 5 meters out of the border of our land, and the border was in the middle of the stream. So the building could only be until here. So again, we went to the municipality and we said, well, we'll make the building until here, but we make a sort of flexible part. That doesn't really count, does it? Well, I thought it's the middle of the forest. It doesn't really matter. So that was approved as well. These are images during construction. We had to make a movable floor, a head that could come out of the house, the organic wooden structures. It was a lot of fun, and here you see the end result of the winter setting. In the summer, when it's used, the head comes out 4 meters and hangs over the stream, and in the winter it's tucked in. All the windows are gone and hidden for snowstorms and other weather. This is the other side. This is a side looking towards the lake, and also here you can see the head can move in, but if it's in use, there's the big window to look at the beautiful nature. The texture, I already introduced to this. We used wooden shingles, and this is red cedar from Canada. At first it's a red wood, but after a year or two this becomes gray by nature. You probably know this thing. During the years it starts to look more and more like the granite rocks that are underneath. It's even so that on the roof already little green things start growing just like the rocks below. So in its close setting it's really like a rock. For the interior we then needed another inspiration. So we looked to the Sami, the people that live totally in the north of Sweden, and how they live with their reindeers. And they recycle these animals into everything that they can use. They eat the meat, they make clothes out of their skins, they make tents out of their skins, they make couches out of their skins, they make knives of it, they even make sunglasses of the bones. This is ultimate recycling. that we tried also for our living room, to have a sort of cozy, organic area covered with these recycled reindeer skins that we got from the north of Sweden. And this is the view overlooking the lake with the stream running along it. Another image of the kitchen inside. This goes on and on. Second project. If you talk about waste spaces, this was an interior waste space. The most ugly building in Rotterdam, I think. And this school came to us. Could you please make a school on the third floor on this building, totally anonymous, 2,000 square meters, and it has to be finished in half a year. So we start thinking on, okay, what can we give these students that would seduce them to come here, because they just had a beautiful brand new school. I think you worked on the extension of it even. On the other side of the river, so but there was really not one student that would come here if this was just an ugly thing. So we realized this is the world of the students. Let's try to make something out of that. So what we made was a texture of blurred images, like you watch MTV all day and be bombarded with endless images. There was a giant wall running through this ugly building, and within this wall all kinds of classrooms were created. That was basically the concept. These are some of the results, and the nice thing is that it really worked also in getting the students enthusiastic for this building. Another project is in the Kunsthal in Rotterdam. An exhibition for dinosaurs, really made for children that would go there with their parents, rather than the other way around. Most ugly creatures, also plastic versions that they would want to show, and we made it into a sort of a children experience thing, that they would walk through the forest. This was a sort of movable floor where you really had the feeling that you were in the middle of prehistoric events, but not in a commercial Disney way, but in a sort of artistic way, that all the kids could find their way. Here they could even dig up all kinds of bones in these in these sandbanks. So it was a big success, and half of the Dutch population went there. We even had a big texture here with all green forests on the window. I'm not sure if Mr. Koolhaas was happy with that, but